Welcome to Frank Bruno Law. I am Frank Bruno, an elder law and estate planning attorney. Today I'd like to answer some Medicaid questions. I was asked, why is Medicaid different in every state? 50 states, 50 different ways to apply the Medicaid rules. And that's because Medicaid is a joint federal-state program. It provides medical assistance to eligible, needy people. Unlike Medicare, it's an entitlement program based on income. So Medicare, if you're 65, and there's other rules, but if you're 65, you could apply for Medicare. Medicaid has strict asset and income rules. The breakdown is 50% comes from the federal government and 50% comes from the state. And the states are given wide discretion about whom they could cover and what benefits to provide. There's a single state agency in charge of the program in each state, but many states have the program administered by county and city governments. Another question. Can Medicaid place a lien on property or recover against an estate? So there are resource rules, and resource is a Medicaid word for assets, but there are many exemptions. The biggest one being a homestead. And every state has their own homestead rules. However, Medicaid may impose a lien on a recipient's property under certain limited circumstances. States are also required to seek recovery from estates of Medicaid recipients. There are complex rules on these estate recoveries, and every state goes after estates differently. So, are adult children responsible for the medical bills of their parents? So, in determining Medicaid eligibility of an adult, federal law does not permit states to use the income or resources of non-spouses, not a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a paramour, or adult children. States cannot collect reimbursement from these relatives. There are a few states that have laws making adult children responsible for the support of indigent parents. However, this would not apply to costs not covered by Medicaid. Final question of the day. Are well spouses legally responsible for Medicaid expenses of a sick spouse? So you have a well spouse in the community, and you have a sick spouse. Some states may deem the income and resources of the well spouse as available to the sick spouse. This deeming depends on whether the sick spouse is at home or institutionalized. States vary in how these rules apply. In New York and some other states, the deeming rules do not apply. However, Medicaid is allowed to sue the well spouse for a contribution. You have to see the specific rules of New York and the Medicaid articles. When there's a community spouse and an institutionalized spouse, there are federal guidelines as to both income and resources and how they are considered. As I like to say, in Medicaid, there are rules and regulations, loopholes, exceptions, and potholes. So you probably need some help with Medicaid. And if you need my help, please go to callfrankbruno.com. Thank you very much.